Hi, Dan Stephen Erickson here, songwriter. And today I wanted to talk more about songwriting, demos, and AI. So it's been a lot of fear lately that songwriters are going to be displaced by AI and that's all we need anymore. And we can create songs, we can create demos, but I've been thinking a little bit about this. First of all, I want to talk about demos. So I started recording songs and making demos clear back in the mid 80s and through the late 80s and early 90s. And I did the whole thing where I booked studio time. I went to studios, I spent hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars in the long run, and created demos, sent them off to try to get publishers or record labels, producers interested. You know, got a bunch of rejections, got a couple things published. I did that for about 5 years when I was working as a part-time cook. So I'd save my money and do it. You know, I was poor and I was spending my money on these produced demos, right? And I'll show you some of those in the future. I've purchased a old ghetto blaster, right? Boombox that's coming in shortly after Christmas. It's a higher end one by the company AIWA. They make a pretty decent, they go for $200 to $300, and it's got the cassette and the CD, and because I don't have any cassette player or CD player right now, and I got a bunch of my old work on cassette and CD. So anyway, but when I first started creating demos with my brother Paul way back in the mid 80s, we'd get the songwriters market and we'd study the songwriters market. And for rock and roll, you wanted a produced demo, right? But most country publishers didn't require produced demos. They wanted a simple guitar or piano voice demo. So what I've seen happen in the last 20 years is I've been in and out of Nashville a few times, and now it's basically, you need a high quality produced demo, fully produced demo if you want any chance of getting your songs published, creating an image in this industry. You know, that's all about money. I may not know what I'm talking about, but I feel it's all that the songwriters have become a product for demo studios, right? These studios are making money off of these songwriters, and 95% of them will never get a hit. It just doesn't happen. The industry has got its few, and that's kind of the way it works. But everybody's, people have dreams, and they keep trying, and they use these demo studios because they're told that's what they have to do. But 25, 35 years ago, the country market would tell people, don't do fully produced demos. We just want to hear the song, the bare bones. And quite frankly, if I were a producer in the country genre, that's what I'd want to hear too, is just the guitar and the vocal, or the piano and the vocal, because as a producer, I would want to build off of that. When I write my own songs and play them back on this channel, right? I record them and play them on this channel with just me and the guitar. I can hear fully produced songs in my head. I know, for many of them, I know exactly what I would do. And a good producer, a good publisher, good record industry professionals can do the same thing as I can do. If they can, then I wonder why they're professionals. So I think it's a business, right? And now let's move to AI. So we've got Suno coming in now. Now songwriters can make demos using AI, and they don't have to spend, $500 to $1,000 a song, because that's what some of these demo studios charge here in Nashville. I've looked into it a little bit. They don't have to spend, $500 a song. They can, get a monthly subscription for $15 to Suno or one of the other musical AI apps, and they can create their demos that way. Well, this actually may hurt the business more than the songwriter when you really think about it. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, is we're all afraid of AI putting the songwriter out of business. But what about all these demo studios? They're not going to be needed anymore. If songwriters can just spend $5 to $15 a month and get an app and create fully produced songs to send out to the publishers who've been requesting for the last 20 years fully produced demos, even in the country market that used to just want simple demos. Guess what? People are going to use AI. They're not going to go spend $500 at a demo studio. So I wonder what's going to happen in the country music industry next. How is the business end of things going to fight this? Because, they want your business. These demo studios want your business. So what are they going to do? How are they going to compete with AI? So really, it's those demo studios that are probably going to feel the pain more than the songwriters themselves. Songwriters in the same position they've always been in. It's a damn hard thing to get into, and your chances are probably about like winning the lottery, right? So we're still in the same place, and that's why I've chosen to just start a YouTube channel and post my songs here, mostly just to have recordings of them. But also maybe somebody will hear them. Maybe I can use this channel as a springboard, in the future. Who knows? I'm not, making any bets on this. But it's really the business is going to have to reorganize itself. Yes, the business can probably use AI to its own benefit, but parts of the business are going to suffer and they're going to lose business because of AI. It's not just the songwriters and the musicians that are going to lose here. It's the business itself. All right, that's just some thoughts today about songwriting, demos, and AI and where it's all leading. Who knows? None of us are for sure. So until next time, I'll come back with another song. I'm Dan Stephen Erickson, songwriter. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and you can check out my website as well at danstephenerickson.com, and we'll see you soon.